Hello dear Cut and Sew Tribe, you are welcome to Cut and Sew Tribe YouTube channel. Welcome to another interesting tutorial. So today we are going to learn how to recreate this beautiful dress. It is beginners friendly. So the upper part is bustier with princess dart. So if you look at the upper part very well, it is without wording and bra cup. So I'm going to show you how to achieve this effect without you using bra cup or wording. So if this looks like what you want to learn, let's get into it in detail. For the required materials, you are going to need 2 yards of African print. I use 2 yards of Ankara fabric here, so you will need this. Now for my lining, I have a yard of lining because I will just line the upper bodies alone, and for the upper bodies I'm going to use this stay just to add a little bit of structure to it. Now we have our basic body drafted out here. If you don't know how to go about it, I have detailed tutorial on how to draft basic body on this pattern. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and alter these basic bodies to armhole princess dart with bustier. So now before we do that, I will need to tighten my under bust. So you are going to input your under bust measurement from shoulder to under bust, whatever it is. Just go ahead and put it down like I am doing. So and you're going to draw your straight line across. Now to achieve that effect on your upper body, you need to tighten your underbust. So whatever your underbust is circumference, divide it into 4 and measure it on that line. So whatever you have left, so you need to pay close attention here. Whatever you have left, you are going to take it away from the center. So the last line there, you are going to go in. I went in by 1/2 inch, and from that 1/2 inch you measure what you have left. So in my own case, I have 1.5 left, and that was what I took away from that part. So after taking it away, you use your French curve to get this shape. Do you get it now? So like this, I have tightened my under bust. So this will give you accurate under bust circumference. So the next thing you are going to do is to go ahead and bring down that line because you don't want to leave it hanging. So we have successfully tightened our under bust, and we're going to proceed to the armhole area. So to get your princess dart line, so the midpoint of your armhole, you draw your line like so, and from that line you need to tighten the armhole. So I will come down by 1 inch just to tighten my armhole, and I will connect it back to the apex. So this new line, you need to extend it by the value you use to tighten your armhole. So in my own case, I'm going to extend that line by 1 inch, and I'm going to redraw my armhole. Do you get my point now? So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to alter our basic neckline. So I need to increase the width and the depth. So for the width, I increased my width to 4.5, and the depth I use 5 inches for the front. So I'll go ahead and connect the 2 points together like this to get my round neck. So this is going to be our new neckline. Now for you to have your neck width not to gape, so I will tighten my neck width. So can you see it on that line? On the tip of my neckline, I came down by 1/2 inch, and you're going to connect it back to the armhole tip. Can you see it? So you connect it like this. So this will help you to eliminate gaping on your neckline. Now the next thing we're going to do is to do the same thing for our back neckline. The width is 4.5. I used 4.5 in my own case. Feel free to use your own accurate measurement. And for the depth of the back neckline, I used 3 inches. Can you see it? So you need to tighten the neck width as well to avoid gaping. So the same thing I did for the front, I will do it for the back. So I came down by ½ inch there, and I'm going to connect it back to the shoulder slope tip. Can you see it? Yes. And our back, our block is ready. So if you wish, you can create armhole princess dart for the back as well, but in my own case, I think I like it like this. So I'll just go ahead and cut out my pattern as seen. So this is our complete pattern set for both the front and the back. So I'll go ahead now and cut out the down part of this dress. So whatever your upper body is, the length, you are going to take it away from your total length. In my own case, the total length I'm working with is 37. So I'll take away 17, which is my half length, from the 37, and I have 20 inches. So I added 1 inch for the seam allowance. So this is the down part, and I'm gonna have to place my pattern on the fabric, and I added the necessary seam allowance. So for my armhole, I did a little bit of I reduced the armhole. So instead of me adding ½ inch to the armhole area, I added 1 inch, because you know the sleeve is not going to cover the whole armhole, and I don't want that part to be revealing. So take note of that. Now I added by the side, I added just 1 inch for the seam allowance, and I'll just go ahead and cut out my pattern as seen. So this is what we have. I'm going to use the same thing. I'm going to use it to cut my lining, and I'm going to cut out the stay. So I'm gonna have to do those things behind the camera. Can you see it? And I'll fuse my interfacing on the main fabric for the front and on the lining. But for the back, I just fused the interfacing on the main fabric alone. Now to couple our front pieces together, can you see the 3 sides? I love joining it from the down part. So it is always advisable when you want to join it, you start from the down part. Can you see it? So I'm joining from the down part. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side, and you are going to see the effect of our underbust tightening. Even without wadding or cup, it is coming out perfectly. So I'm going to join my lining the same way. Can you see it from the down part? So this is what we have for the lining as well. Can you see it? So I'll go ahead now and turn the back with lining. I'm going to do that. I'm going to hold my dart. So to hold my dart, I'm going to hold it separately. I'll hold the dart on the lining separate and the dart on the main fabric separate. I'm going to finish up the neckline. I'll take them to the ironing table and we'll come and continue from there. So this is it. I've gone ahead to press open my seam line. So tribe, you need to do this to achieve a very neat finishing. So I've gone ahead to do the same thing for the back. So like I said, I had the dart on the fabric for the back separately and on the lining separately. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to turn the neckline of the front. Can you see it? I've turned the neckline. I am going to notch it. I'm going to notch the neckline, and I'll take it back to the ironing table so that I can achieve a very neat finishing. Can you see my cup, the way it is cupping? So if you do your correct underbust tightening, you are going to achieve this effect. So I'll take it to the ironing table before we come and do our armhole. So this is it. This is what we have. I've ironed it down, and the armhole now, I will go ahead and turn it. You need to finish up the armhole, because the sleeve is not going to cover the armhole, so you need to finish up the armhole. So I'm going to turn my lining. I will use my lining to finish up the armhole for both the front and the back. Do you get it now? So you need to sew on your seam allowance. Can you see it? So right side of your lining is going to face the right side of the fabric, and I'll just do those things and we'll come and continue. So can you see it? I've sewn it down using 1/2 inch seam allowance that I added. So I will turn them now inside out, and I will go and iron it, and we'll come and do the next thing. So this is it. Can you see it? I've given it a good press, and everything is looking very neat and beautiful. So this is the next thing to do. This is how to finish up this armhole. So if you have done the correct thing, your shoulder should be equal, so that by the time you want to turn it, it will not be difficult for you. So can you see it? You are going to tuck it in like so. So I'm using that back to wrap up the front, and you're going to bring it out. So at the tip, you make sure you arrange it very well, so that it will not gape outside by the time you have sewn it down. So can you see it? Make sure you arrange it properly so that you don't have any pleats and you don't have any fold. So I'm going to sew it down using 1/2 inch. So I will do the same thing for the other side. Can you see it? Put in your hand like so, and you're going to tuck it in. So you use the back to wrap the front shoulder. So fabric will be facing fabric and lining will be facing lining. That's how to go about it. And I will just go ahead and sew it down using my seam allowance. So this is it. I've sewn it down on 1/2 inch, and I'll bring it out. So can you see it? Can you see it the way it is? So this is what you should have if you have done the right thing. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to work on our sleeve. So I have here with me a peplum stay or collar stay, as you may want to call it. So the length of this collar stay is 15. Although if you want your own sleeve to be longer than this, you can use more than 15. So but in my own case, I use 15, and the width is 2.5. So as you can see, I have my fabric folded into 2 like this. Can you see it? And at the edge, I have 1 inch extra. I added 1 inch extra. Can you see it? So I will go ahead and cut it out, leaving 1/2 inch up and 1/2 inch down. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So this is what you have. This is how to go about the sleeve. It is very, very easy to navigate. Can you see? So I'll take it to the ironing table. I'm going to force it down. I'm going to iron it down, and I'll come and show you how to attach it. So this is what I have. Now I need you to pay close attention here. I added 1 inch to that part. So that 1 inch, I just folded in 1/2 inch. Can you see it? And I still have 1/2 inch extra left on that part. The same thing with this other part. Can you see it? So you should have that extra of 1/2 inch, because that is where you are going to sew on. You don't want to sew on your collar stay. Do you get? I hope you get what I'm trying to pass across. I added 1 inch to it, and I folded in 1/2 inch. So take note of that. So I'm going to sew it at this point. I'm going to sew the upper part and the down part, just to finish up the 2 edges, the one that will go to the front and the one that will go to the back. So I've sewn it down, Can you see it? Very close to the collar stay, but I did not sew on the collar stay. And I'm going to turn it inside out like this. Can you see it? So if you have excess there, you can just trim it down so that it will not be too thick. Now go ahead and turn it inside out. Can you see it? So because I've ironed it down before, that's why we have it like this. So you can try and push out all the edges so that you have it neatly sewn. So now the next thing you are going to do is to get the midpoint of this sleeve. You need to get it. It's very, very important, so that by the time you want to place it on your fabric, the front will not be longer than the back. So now to attach this sleeve is very, very easy to do, since you have finished up your armhole. Now this part that we have opened, can you see it? So you make sure that the opened part face your armhole area. Do you get it now? So and the midpoint, you are going to place it on your shoulder. So from the neck width, you can draw your line so that it's going to serve as a guide for you. So from the neck width, just measure 1 inch in. Do you get it now? And you're going to place it on this. So I have my 1 inch marked, and I will just place it. So you can pin it down. Now for you to arrange it on towards the front, so I just measure in 2 inches inward from my armhole. Do you get it? Because I've considered my seam allowance. So arrange it like that and just go ahead and sew it down. Can you see it? It's very simple. It's as simple as this. So I've done the same thing for the other side, and this is what we have. So you can just go ahead and give it a good press. So that ½ inch is going to help your sleeve to relax. If you sew on the collar stay, it may not allow your sleeve to relax very well. So the next thing to do now is to shape these upper bodies. I'll go ahead and shape it using my own accurate measurements. So this is it. I have sewn down my measurements, and this is what we have. So for my sleeve, I make sure the sleeve, I arrange it towards the armhole. Do you get it now? So this is what we have. Can you see it? You make sure it is very close to the armhole area. Now the next thing we are going to do is I want to run gathers on my down parts. I'm going to run the gathers, and we come and fix it. We are going to fix it on the upper bodies. So after running your gathers, you make sure you gather it to your waist circumference. Make sure you gather it evenly. Do you get it now? Before you attach it to the upper bodies. So when you want to attach it to the upper bodies, you are going to place it in such a way that right side will be facing right side, and you just sew it down the way I am doing right now. So this is what we have. Yes, everything is neatly sewn down. So you make sure you cut out all the unnecessary threads that you may have on your dress. So like I said, I'm not going to attach lining to the down part. So because of that, I'll take it to the weaving machine. I'm going to weave the waistline and the two sides. I'll finish up the down part, and we'll come and fix our zipper. So as you can see, I've weaved it and everything is neat now. So I'm going to fix my zipper and iron it properly, and I will display it on the mannequin for you to see the final outlook of our beautiful dress. So this is a final outlook. Can you see how beautiful and neat it is? I hope you do find this tutorial helpful. If you do, kindly give us thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more interesting tutorials. Till I come your way next. Bye.